Professional cooking has been a male-dominated profession over the years when it comes to women, and they are a force to reckon with. Experienced women who have made it in this business will tell you that it wasn't easy for them to earn respect in the kitchens of hotels and restaurants in the country. They had to work hard to keep up with the pace of already established male chefs. A young entrepreneur from KwaZulu-Natal known as Bathuthukile Mcunu, who gave up her full-time office job to start her own business, and since then she never looked back. She now joins us on the program. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Colin. Thanks for having me.
How did it all begin for you to just think about your overstay in a 9-to-5 job and say, I'm getting out, I want to do something with my life?
To be honest with you, it was a very tough decision to make. But, you know, in order to say yes to something, you need to say no to something else. And I contemplated leaving work for about 2 years, and before I finally made the decision, you know, before I finally quit my job. And the main motivation factor for me was the fact that I had this urge of wanting to contribute towards a bigger cause and wanting to contributing towards enhancing the economy, contributing towards creating employment. You know, being part of that contribution was actually a motivating factor.
Yeah. Before you quit your job, did you know already that you wanted to get in this kind of business, or did you just fall into it?
It was actually an opportunity that presented itself to me, but I knew deep down I had a passion for food, passion for baking, and a passion for just, you know, running things in my own space and own time, you know.
When it comes to food, did you go to school to learn about the culinary industry, or is it something that was within you, a matter of talent and passion?
I come from a family who's very inclined towards cooking, so it wasn't a matter of attending culinary lessons for it, but it was just in me until the opportunity of then Uber Eats presented itself. But I did then went to school for cake making and decorating.
Okay, now the uniqueness of your business, when somebody wants to do catering or maybe open a restaurant, you decided to take a different, you know, way altogether and come up with uniqueness in the way you do business. Tell us how you got into the market.
Okay, as I said before, it was an opportunity that presented itself. I met up with someone who was one of the directors for Uber Eats South Africa, and whilst I was making cakes, they said, you know, we don't have females that are doing confectionery for Uber Eats in Pretoria East. So, and then he helped me to follow the process. So it was quite an intense process. I started it while I was still at work, and then finally got the contract this year, February, and yeah, I never looked back since. Okay,
this Uber Eats is a phenomenon that's known in Europe and the US. How is the South African public responding to ordering food via an app on their phones, and then boom, the food arrives at the gate?
It's actually it's a business that's growing rapidly, and Uber Eats at the moment has almost 5 million clients in South Africa alone, and we receive about over 10,000 orders per week. And what happens is that as a restaurant partner, so I'm a restaurant partner to Uber Eats, contracted with them, and there's about 1,200 restaurant partners within the country already.
So when you got onto Uber Eats, tell us how you really got affiliated to the system, because I must admit that in South Africa, when we go around, not each and every family or household orders its food through apps. They would rather go to restaurants or order by telephone.
You know, things have changed actually. I see a lot of people wanting to easy things. You know, it's for convenience purposes. You order food via an app, and then Uber Eats receives it, and then they send it through to a restaurant partner, and then we make the food, and then they come and collect it and goes and delivers to the client. So you order and you receive food by your doorstep.
And then tell us about your newly found passion for baking now, and how you incorporated it into the business itself, from food to cakes.
Okay, cakes is my utmost passion. You know, I love making cakes. I love decorating them, and it gives me that like satisfaction, you know. But I also use Uber Eats for my cakes outside of like a daily order that I receive. They're also part of Uber Eats. So when people want to order cupcakes, they want to order a cake, they also can do it via that.
Okay.
And I run specials in between of different menus and cakes.
So for a person who is busy like you, let's go back to people who want to start their businesses, but they are still employed now. What is your advice to them? Because experience has been that some people would quit their jobs, take pension money and go start their business, and when things go south, they are left out in the cold.
Okay, well, you know, leaving full-time employment for business is not a small matter. There's certain factors that need to be considered, like your finances, your backup plan. Like, you need to know what are you going to support yourself with if you start, once your business is getting off the ground. And secondly, backup plan, that's when then education and your qualifications and skills then come into play. Are you willing to at some point go back to work, or you're just gonna like take the plunge and move on? So in other things like your personal life, it's very important to get support from the people that you actually plan a long time with. And it's very important that they support you, they understand why you're leaving, and they with you through and through. And also emotional readiness, like you need to be emotionally ready to like understand that, you know what, you're alone now, you need to do this. It's so much harder than being in full-time employment, because you need to double up your time, you need to, you know, you need to pay your bills.
Talking about time, I'm actually out of time with you right now, but I must say that this interview came at the right time because we need to celebrate, as you know, in the news that the SABC has renewed its deal with MultiChoice. And tell us about the cake that you have baked for the SABC, perhaps on a congratulatory note.
Oh, yeah, congratulations are in order to SABC with the new deal. Yeah, there's a cake for you, SABC News.
Yeah. All right. Bathuthukile, thank you so much, and all the best for you in this industry. And we hope that this cake will address the complaint by Peter Ndoro just before the weather. He was complaining about his skin tone. So we hope that this cake will do justice to him. But thank you so much. All the best and good luck for the future.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. That's Bathuthukile Mcunu, who is in the culinary and confectionery industry. And of course, we're going to take a break. When we come back, the news headlines with the big two.